Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Jez. Welcome back to another Diamond Dynasty gameplay. And yeah, we're still bunts, but this is one of the first games that we're trying out new players. We got 97 overall Joe Morgan, as well as 92 Ryan Braun. So these are new players for us that we're trying out. And I believe I'm like 6-4, 6-5 at this point. Still really bad. My biggest problem is pitching. I'm starting to get the hang of hitting a little bit. I still swing at low pitches below the strike zone way too often because I still have a tough time deciphering if it's a strike or not. Just my opponent's lineup, and for the most part, most of the time, this is the type of teams I'm going up against, and I'm losing still because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm still throwing to the wrong bases. I need a lot of help. But my hitting is getting better. You know, I'm getting 8 to 12 hits a game, which is good. This right here, Joe Morgan's first at bat, and I get plunked. Look at that. But we do steal a base. He has 89 speed. We're going to go ahead and snag second. Then we're going to go ahead and snag third. Didn't take me real long for me to realize that my opponent, just like me, has no idea what he's doing. And I noticed that right here where he decides to throw home instead of taking the out at first. So right there, kind of like, okay, he might be at my playing field. You know, I'm finally playing somebody who doesn't know what they're doing the same way I don't. But pitching is my biggest problem. For the most part, I'm able to hit, pretty well. But pitching is awful. I decided to try Classic this game because whether the meter or pure analog, I cannot pitch whatsoever. Pitches always go over the middle of the plate. I don't even know how Classic works. I just know that you put a ball in an area, you hit the button, and just, I guess you hope and pray it goes there. Like right here, I go down below, and it goes exactly where I wanted it to go. But there's other times where I put it in a corner, and it goes nowhere near there. Like right here, low and inside, and look how far away that is from the mark. So if you guys could help me better understand what Classic does, is it literally you just hope and pray that it goes in the area? Right here, we throw to home plate, and he does get called safe. So he actually takes the lead because my pitching is buns. I don't know how to do it, and that's my biggest problem right now. Once I get the hang of pitching, we'll be okay because hitting, we're almost there. We're doing a lot better of when we first started. But right there, we get out of the inning, but we're losing. Right here, he ends up throwing to Vlad, and no, excuse me, not Vlad. Troy, was that Troy Tulowitzki? I believe that was Troy Tulowitzki. I believe Vlad is coming up next, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, here's Big Boy Vlad. Big Boy Vlad coming up, and he ends up throwing a meatball. And, well, not right there, but you see the title. Vlad does hit 2 home runs this game, and this is one of them. You see I swing early, I over-pursue a ton. But right there, we were perfect right down. I believe we swung with the power, which is square, and we end up hitting a huge shot deep over the wall, and we end up tying the game. Vlad with a moonshot. Right here we got Jeff Bagwell, and right there I swing at low pitches all the time, and that's my biggest problem, man. I really need to be more patient, which I'm working on. It's a work in progress. I'm definitely hitting a lot better than I was when I first played. For the most part, we're actually taking more pitches, we're getting a lot more hits, and we're actually scoring points, which is good. Something I was not able to do before because I struggled so badly with hitting. But right there, you see me taking patience, even though it was a good pitch. Got to try and take the first pitch. Got to try and, get that pitch count out, up, I should say, and be patient. So I'm working on that. I swing early in the count way too often, but again, it's a work in progress. And that pitch right there, the below the strike zone, it just looks like a strike to me, and I go for it, and I end up swinging and missing or getting cheap outs, and it's very frustrating, man. Like, it is definitely, like right here, 3-2, I put it right down the middle, and look where it goes. Way up top there. So, again, if you guys let me know what Classic does, it might be just that, but for the most part, it's better than me doing pure analog because pure analog, the pitches are far inside. I could rarely get a strike here. It's a little bit more consistent for me because I just have trouble getting pitches and strategy. Like right there was perfect. I put it there. That's exactly where it went, and I could never do that with analog or meter. At least with Classic, I can do that every 5 to 6 pitches or something like that, which is helpful. Right here, you see I switched my PCI to the wedge, I think it's called. A little bit more visible. Don't got that big circle in the middle cluttering my vision. But 2 outs right here. and he ends up throwing right down the middle, and we end up slugging that for a double. I believe that was Morgan right there. And we end up taking advantage of a meatball, and we end up getting a big hit right down the right corner there. So here's Troy Tulowitzki. Now I definitely want to try and get a hit because we got Papa Vlad right behind him, but unfortunately a little dribble to the shortstop, and he ends up gunning us out. So still 2-2 lead, and at this point, I literally remember saying to myself, nice little bloop right there. I literally remember saying to myself, okay, we got to manufacture. I can't continue to count on Vlad to give me good hits. Like, I need other people to come up. Right here, he's got the pitch. He goes for the bunt, the sacrifice, but we end up throwing him out at second. We don't get him at first, but we do get the speed of the pitcher. We throw out the lead runner, which is very important. 1 out, 2-1 count right there, and he ends up hitting a nice little single to the outfield, and he ends up getting men on first and second. 1 out, so it's not looking good for us. Ends up swinging and missing right there, but both runners advance on the terrible bounce right there, but it was a strikeout. We end up forcing the loaded bases, and I tried to move. Like, as soon as the ball was hit, I could not move, but thankfully he makes a mistake right there and runs after I already threw it in, and we gun him out, but he does take the lead. But again, we got Papa Vlad right here, the immortal 99 overall Vlad, to bail us out. Shapoinkin! And just like that, Vlad hits another home run, tying the game, his second of the ball game. Very, very big swing right there. And it's like, all right, man, we can't, like, how many times is Vlad going to bail us out? We got to get some other things going here for us. And that's a nice start. 5.5 hole right there by Jeffrey Bagwell. Get ourselves on first base. 0-1 count. We end up hitting directly to the second baseman, and we end up getting out right there. But again, man, we got to get some runs without Vlad being a part of it. 2 outs right here, and we end up taking another terrible swing, which I do all the time. Again, working pro. You should have seen me, you know, when I first played the game. I had no idea what I'm doing. So we fast forward a little bit, and we end up getting a single right there. Again, Tony Gwynn's favorite spot, the 5.5, and we end up getting a big single. So 3-3 ball game at this point. Next up, we got Clayton Kershaw, and we definitely want to take him out. So we're going to take him out, and we're going to put in Altuve. Figure, you know, it's a good time to get some contact in there. I want to just put the ball on the ground, get somebody with good speed. I was thinking about Judge, and then I was like, you know, let's go with Altuve, man. Good speed, good contact, put the ball on the ground. You know, he has the speed to beat out a potential double play. That's what we want. First pitch, and we end up just hitting a pop fly, but thankfully it's out of play. So he has another opportunity. It was thrown like right down the middle, and I just went too low. And again, I fish for the low pitches all the time. Just a regular can of corn pop up right there to the center fielder, and we end up popping out. So that's unfortunate. Altuve's pinch hit goes to waste. So 2 outs, 0-1 count. He pitches high, and unfortunately Tulo cannot deliver. And we're going to head into the next inning with the tie game. So again, with classic pitching, I'm just hoping, praying that we can get anything. We're going to go with Andrew Miller here. Let's get a lefty up there, and hopefully we can, you know, get some mismatches, some bad attributes, some 90, well, not 90s, but some low contact because he's a lefty, low contact, low power. 3-1, right down the middle, and thankfully we're there to get that. But it's like the classic is just not really working out. I know I got to really work on my analog, but I'm just so horrible with it. It's very, very frustrating. 0-0 count right here, bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, and he ends up pop flying to the pitcher. So now it's like, all right, let's get a lead here. We need to pounce on him. We got the top of the lineup coming up. Well, not the top, but the meat of the order, I should say. Vladimir is up, 1-2 count. He's been our ace in the hole right here, really delivering for us, and he ends up smashing one right beyond the center fielder off the wall, and we end up getting a leadoff double. So good way to start. Now Jeff Bagwell's job is to go on ahead and get into third base. I thought about bunting. I did. I thought about bunting, but he hits a little baby dribbler, and he gets the job done, sends him to third base, where all we have to do is get some type of sacrifice, anything that we can, to end up moving him to score. So right here, I believe it's Mike Trout. 0-2 count right here, and we hit a bomb. And this is where you can see I'd still have trouble with sending guys at base. Like, you know, I'm still working on it again. I send Mike Trout way too late, but he actually gets caught safe. Not really sure how, but we end up getting caught safe on that. So we will gladly Take that. So Mike Trout comes through with a huge double, and we end up taking the lead. But with my pitching and how bad it is, you know, it's definitely not guaranteed. Right here, we decided to take a chance, steal third base, and we are successful. So again, another sacrifice fly opportunity, and he ends up walking us. You know, we're showing good patience right there. Right here, we hit a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful line drive right there to get guys at second and third, and we end up getting another run right there. So that right there, nice insurance run. Right here, 0-2 count. We end up line driving out to the first baseman. And then here comes Andrew Miller, and of course we want to pinch hit him. And you see what the title says. We're going to bring in the big boy Judge. And look how impatient I am, and look how early I start swinging with Judge. So the very first pitch, I'm swinging with square. I want that power up there. So I swing, terrible pitch, and we end up missing, right? Very next pitch, 0-1, same pitch down below, and I end up swinging and missing. And then right here on the 0-2 count, okay, we finally got a little bit of patience. We take that. We're just looking for something inside the strike zone. Bow! Oh, we found it. We found it. And Judge delivers the 3-run shot. And that right there is pretty much going to put an end to this game. We are now up 8-3, and it would take a complete meltdown in order for him to come back, which happily I can say he does not. So we're still working. Wait, we're not done yet. Tulo decides to join the party, and he ends up hitting a home run as well. Still working on pitching is where I feel like it's my biggest problem. Hitting, I've improved. That right there is, whew, right down the middle, man. That should have been his 3rd home run. And he left the hanger right there too. You know, our hitting has gotten tremendously better. Tremendously better. It's the pitching I need help with. Any type of tips or advice you guys can give me on how to improve my pitching, would greatly appreciate it. Because right now my hitting is getting better little by little, and but my pitching is, I haven't seen any type of increase skill-wise whatsoever. And I'm going to continue to lose, even though I have a winning record for now, because my pitching is so bad. But you know, my hitting is where I feel like it's where it needs to be for now, considering I've only played, you know, 8 games or so, less or maybe a little over 10 games. It's my pitching that needs help. It's your boy GS. We're going to go on ahead and we're signing out. Peace!